What's up, guys? Back in the shop once again. Decided I don't want to work today on the weekend. So last night we got the front end put on, all the headlights, everything all mounted in, looking really good. A few little gaps I got to tighten up and stuff, but nothing major, no big deal. So today, I've decided to go ahead and cut the cage loose from its tacks, lower it down, weld the top, and put it back up. I thought that'd probably be the most beneficial thing to do today, just because I don't really feel like doing anything new and using my brain as much, just because I'm tired. So this is very simple. Just cut it loose, drop it, weld it, put it back up, put it back in the same exact place. And then that'll allow me to, everything from here on out will just be straight pieces that are coped with the hole saw and welded into place, and it'll be very easy. So let me show you what I did. So I cut loose the tacks, as you can see here. That tack was holding that in place. I cut that loose there. So the cage right now wiggles around. So that's good. So here, that's the box. So I've cut it loose from the tacks, and that literally now will come out of the way. See? And now this is loose. So now this can come in and drop down out of the way. So the back tube here, this tube, which is the main hoop, that goes into this hole that I drilled right here. So that will come back and slide down into that hole and slide down into the chassis. And then when we're ready to put it back together, again, that plate will slide under it, cover the hole, weld it back up. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm going to lower the whole cage down and weld the top. Again, pretty soon I'll be switching to a better camera system. Right now I'm just using my phone just because I have it. It's easy, but I know everything's probably coming out backwards and stuff. But again, move this box out of the way. Come over here. That will need to drop down into that location there. And this will need to go in. See how it just dropped? Just dropped quite a bit. Yeah, already dropped quite a bit down. So make sure this goes back into that hole right there. I'm doing this one-handed, so, and then this moves. There we go. See how it just dropped down? And then we'll watch this go down into the hole. And that's how you do that. This is on that ledge now. You see that? It's on that ledge, so go one more over there. I'll show you how far this thing actually dropped down. So here, once again, there we go. All the way down there. Same thing with this, all the way down. Look how far that drops down. So, see how far this drops down now? Really good. So now I can get right in there with the torch and weld all the top side of here, all of the top side of here, and then simply just shove the cage back up in place, put the boxes back in place, tack it all back up, and she's there for the last time. So really cool the way that happens and that works. The only thing to be careful of is only weld the minimum amount that you can't get to in this stage, because right now, you know, the cage is just tacked together. And the problem is when you weld something, when you fully weld something, the metal moves, right? It'll expand and contract and do some weird things. So right now the cage fits, but it's just tacked. If I were to have welded all the underneath sides, which I've done this before, you weld all the underneath side and then drop it down and weld the top, here's the problem. It moves. So I learned this on the last time. Weld all the bottom, right? Everything wants to pull together because you've welded the underneath side. It pulls it together. So then when I cut it from the tacks, the cage literally springs together. You drop it down, you weld the top, push it back up. Now you have to jack the cage apart to get it back into the right place. Such a pain in the ass. So I decided to do it opposite on this one. Weld the top first, which will make it spring out a little bit, but that will help fit it tighter to the body. And if I only weld about 1 inch on all the top surfaces, which is about all I need to cover, everything else I can get to underneath. So weld very minimal, just the amount that needs to be done that I can still get to the rest of it. So what I did was when it was up, when it was tacked in place, my tacks were actually on either side, and they were at the points to where I'm like, okay, these are the points from here down that I can get to from underneath. From here around the top, I can't get to, so it's perfect. All I have to weld is from tack over to tack. That'll be my clearance, put it back up, and then I can weld the rest of it. So I did go ahead, and since there's 2 tacks on either side, the material would move up and down very easily. So I did go ahead and put a tack on the bottom side to hopefully help give it something on the bottom, so when I weld the top, it won't move up as bad. It won't pull away as bad. So we'll see if that works. But yeah, this is great. This is the way we do this. If you're not going to cut the top of the car off and actually weld the cage straight to the body, you do these boxes, and you put the cage on top of the box, tack it all in place, get it all fitted, pull the box out, drop the cage like this, get up in here with all this room, weld it, push it back up, put the boxes back, and then it's in. It's done. Weld the rest of the bottom, it's done. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna weld the top, and then we'll shove it back up, and I'll show you when it's done. All right, thanks guys. Still not easy. I mean, you lowered it down to give you room just to make it possible, but it's still extremely tough to get in there and get it right and make a good, nice, strong weld. So just take your time, put a lot of heat into it, get good weld on there, and do your best. Sounds like bacon frying. It's always good. Well, it sounds like bacon frying. Strong, good welds. And now I'm going to try not to burn my crotch off by welding this back here, if I can get to it. can. Figure out the angles you can get around. What's it that you got? I think the hood's the hardest part because it's so big. You gotta keep it down most of the time. Yep, just so I make sure it's 100% covered in place. Alright, so I got here, this I can get 100% in here, so there's no point in doing that because that'll just try to make the front tube bend down a little bit more. I didn't get this tube. Okay, so I'll do that real quick. I got this front one and this back one, now I need to get this side one. Looking good. Looking really good. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one just a little bit more, just so I don't have to get near this rubber when it's up. Alright, now this whole side is done up top. Again, I think this one, can I get to that? I don't know, I'm gonna go ahead and weld it just because I'm not sure if I can get to it or not. I don't really remember, so I'm gonna do it while I can. Probably going to end up screwing myself just because of what I said before. I'm probably welding too much and it's going to really shrink the cage in, but I'll make it work. I'll put the porta power or ratchet straps, I'll jack it back in place. I'll make it work, it'll be fine. Woo! Looking good. Looking really good. Really, really, really good. Very happy with how all that came out. Welded up very, very well. I will pull you over so you can see a little more up close. That weld came out great. Still smoking, yeah. That one came out really, really good. So did that. You know, all these welds look really good. Happy. Very happy with that. So, that's how you do it. So from here on out, I've welded the top. Now I will push the cage back up, slip the boxes all back in place, tack it all back up, start tacking it to the body where it needs to, and then make it fit again, and she's ready to weld the rest of it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So, all right, I'll leave you there. All right, now's the fun part. Now it's time to push it back up, put the boxes back in, and see how much it moved. And then adjust from there. So, I'm gonna crawl inside the car again. I'm gonna try to push up from the center bracing. There we go. There's one, there's two. Alright, we're outside of the holes. Pretty good. It's fitting so far. So I got a porta power right here. I like to do it this way. Line them back up just because the original tack that was there that I cut through, you just line the tack up with the original line and everything works. And put this box in place. Now, if people are wondering, I don't have a shield on. I'm not looking at the tack. I'm closing my eyes and actually turning my head a little bit. You can get a little flash burn and stuff like that if you're really close. It's kind of like a little bit of a sunburn, but not bad. But if you stay a good 3 feet away, 2-3 feet away, and turn your head and close your eyes, generally you can get away with it. It's not something recommended, but I've been doing it for years and with no problems. I've learned how to do it. It's easier than putting a shield on and off, on and off. So now I should be able to drop this and it should sit there. So let's see what happens. But yeah, I mean, that's the gist of it. That worked really, really well. I'm super excited about that. That was the best one I've ever done. It fits, like it's right back on the boxes, right where it came out. Look, it didn't spring too much. I mean, I can literally push that and tack that back in place. This went right up in. These back strut pieces are literally right where they came out of, other than like I can move it with my hand. So that worked phenomenal. I would suggest doing it that way. That's the way I'm going to do it every time from now on. It's very similar to like I did before. I just, like I said, I had welded it under first, lowered it, then welded the top, and it really moved around on me. That way, it just barely moved. So this is great. All right, I'm going to leave you there, and I'm going to get back to just finish tacking this cage back in the chassis and getting it set in place where it's not going to move and ready to just be finish welded from there and to keep fabbing the rest of the cage up. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.